Welcome to LiveDaf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem and welcome back to today's Daf Hayomi. Menachos Daf Yud Zayin. We begin on the very last word of Tezayin Amud Beis. Amri Charifi. The Pumbedisa. So this was a special title given to two Chachamim. Their names were actually Efa and Avimi. They were brothers, the sons of Ruchava from Pumbedisa. And they were given the title Charifi, the sharp ones of Pumbedisa, as Rashi brings. Here comes an interesting point. Although we learned yesterday that Pigel will only take effect if the Pigel thought, Pigel means the intention of consuming or offering to the Mizbeach tomorrow, next week, in the wrong time, Chus L'Zmanei, that makes Pigel. Disqualifies the carbon, and one eats part of that carbon, he gets curry. So you must do a complete Pigel, not a half a Pigel, which means the Pigel thought will accompany the handling of the matir. Matir is the permitter, the engine, the primary force behind the carbon or the mincha, which is the kmitza, right? The thing is that there are two drivers in a mincha. There is a kaimetz of the dough, and then there is a kaimetz of the levina. So the Pigel typically has to be present while handling both of them. Meaning, if you're doing the haktorah on the kaimetz with a thought of chus l'zmanei, likewise you have to have a similar thought when you're doing the levina on the mizbeach. This way you have a complete, all-encompassing Pigel thought. However, here comes an interesting point. Haktorah, a Pigel thought that accompanied the haktorah, the burning of the dough kaimetz, mifagalas haktorah. If he had a Pigel thought, not regarding the actual dough or the shiraim, he was thinking, I'm going to burn the levina in the wrong time. That makes for Pigel, even though typically we say, no, ein matir mefagalas hamatir. While doing one matir, you can't be thinking about the other one and make Pigel like that. Like the two sheep, right? You can't do shchita on one sheep, having in mind to eat the other one tomorrow. It doesn't make Pigel. Right? And likewise we say, a Pigel thought that was only present during part of the matir, like in this case, the burning of the kaimetz. Again, according to Rabbanan, does not generate Pigel. In this case, it's different. Rashi explains based on the Gemara later, because the kaimetz and levina have a special bond, special relationship, because they were both established in the same kli. They were both contained in the same klisharis. They were bound to each other. They were sort of two parts of a whole. And that connectivity enables this sort of spillover from one to the other. Says the Gemara, Afilu Rabbanon da Amri, even according to Rabbanon who say, Ein mefagon b'chatzi matir. Pigel that's only present during half the matir, in this case the kaimetz, does not generate Pigel. Hanamila, it's only true echad chisha bebi shirayim. When you had in mind to eat the shirayim tomorrow, Levina b'mosa kaimet, Levina remained as is, unaffected. He wasn't thinking about Levina. Avalach, in this case, the chisha Levina, although when he's doing the kaimetz, he wasn't thinking about the kaimetz, he was thinking about bringing the levina tomorrow. Here it's different, because the Pigel thought now spread out. It's as though the machshava accompanied the entire, the involvement of the entire matir. Why? Why do we say that here? As Rashi explained, because the kaimetz and levina are like two parts of one entity. So don't differentiate. Amar Rava, Afanami Tanina. I'll even prove this to you from the Mishnah that we had back on Daf Yud Beis Klal. Here's the rule. How does one generate Pigel by a mincha? Kol ha-kaimetz, v'nesim b'kli, v'amoilech v'amakter. He did one of the four primary steps, kmitza, nesina b'kli, halacha, or haktorah of the kmitza. You had a mind, you had a plan, lechol davar shalak, lechol to eat the shirayim tomorrow, l'hakta davar shalak, l'hakta, or to be makdir tomorrow. Whether the kaimetz or the levina. Sorry, if you had in mind chuslim kaimai, simply to do it in the wrong place, that's not Pigel. Possible in Makaris, that's possible, but there's no Karis. Chus l'zmanei. If you had in mind tomorrow, So for instance, in the case of pigel during the Haktorah. He was doing the Haktorah of the Kaimitz with a plan to be Maktir the Lavaina tomorrow. Pigel v'chayav of current is curse. Malav, let's assume Haktorah, the pigel that occurred during the Haktorah of the Kaimitz, during the Hanach, is similar to the pigel examples discussed earlier, which took place during the act of Kmitza, Matan Kli, Hiluch. We'll compare. Mahanach, just like by those, meaning the pigel thought that occurred during the Kmitza, Matan Kli and Hiluch, first 3 steps, could have been Bein Le'echel Bein Lahaktir, whether he had in mind to eat the leftovers tomorrow or to be Maktir Levina tomorrow. That makes for a full pigel. We explained yesterday, because during the Kmitza and the Matan Kli, and some say in the Halach as well, there's no competition, there's no competing activities, there's only the Kaimitz itself, there's no Kmitza and the Levine, etc. So there, the Machshava of Pigel is considered a full Machshava of Pigel. Af Haktorah likewise, if he were to do the Haktorah of the Kaimitz with the same type of thoughts, Bein Lechel, Bein Lahaktir, whether he's thinking to eat the Shirayim tomorrow or to be Maktir Levina tomorrow, it's Pigel, as per the Charifa de Pumpadisa. So again, while he's burning the Kaimitz, he's thinking about Levina tomorrow, that makes Pigel. Loi, who says? Hanach. We can split the cases from each other. Regarding the first 3 scenarios, Hanach, when the pigel occurred during the first 3 steps, Kmitza, Matan Kli, and Hiluch, where there is no Levina involved in that process, so it's not an incomplete Machshava Pigel, it's a full Machshava Pigel pertaining to a full activity, because this activity is unique to the Kaimitz and will not be done to the Levina, so that's a full Pigel. So then it works regardless of what he's thinking about, Bein Lechel, Bein Lahaktir, what he's thinking about eating the Shirayim tomorrow, or be Maktir Levina tomorrow, it's Pigel. But regarding the 4th option, Haktorah, the Pigel that occurred during the Haktorah of the Kaimitz, perhaps it doesn't work so quickly. Lechel in, if you had in mind to eat the Shirayim tomorrow, yeah, that can make Pigel. But Lahaktir, if you had in mind to burn the Levina tomorrow, loy, that's not Pigel. Right? Because he's doing the Kaimitz thinking about the Levina. And that's one mate trying to affect the other one, it doesn't work. Yosef Rab Menachos Bar Gada Kameh, he was sitting in front of the Abaye. Yosef Kamar Mishmein is quoting the name of the Rav Chizda. Ein Haktorah Faglas Haktorah. It's the opposite. If during the Haktorah of the Kaimitz he's thinking about burning the Levina tomorrow, it doesn't work. And you know what? Mafilu Rab Meir, he's taking the other extreme. He's taking the other approach. He says, even according to Rab Meir, who makes it easier to make Pigel, so to speak, the Amar who says Mefaglam b'chatzi mater, even a Pigel thought that occurred during half the mater can generate Pigel. How do you know that's only Heicha D'Chashav B'Shirayim? So if he's doing one mater and he's thinking about the Shirayim, yeah, that can make Pigel. The Kaimitz mater to do, because the Kaimitz is the mater of the Shirayim. It's the provider. He arranges for the Shirayim to be eaten. So the Pigel thought that occurred during the processing of the Kaimitz certainly affects the Shirayim. Aval hacha. The Kaimitz la mater the Levina, who brought over here. The Kaimitz, he's not the Levina's boss. Levina stands alone. So you can't make the Levina Pigel by way of thinking it during the Kaimitz. Amalei Abaye responded to the Chacham who quoted the Salacha. Ane Mar, please, Ane Mari, please, my master, answer me. Mishmei the Rav, did Rav Chizda quote this halacha in the name of Rav, his Rebbe? Amalei says, yeah. Amalei in, yeah. It's Menam, we have likewise in the Beis Medrash another direct quote, Amar Rav Chizda, Amar Rav, and it doesn't work. And Haktorah, Faglas Haktorah. Says the Gemara, Amar Rav Yaakov Bar Idi, Mishmei the Abaye, he quotes Abaye with a proof that it doesn't work. Afanana mitanina, look at the Mishnah. Shachad echad nakvas lechel menu l'machar, right? Example of the 2 sheep. He's equating this case to the 2 sheep, which Rashi said before is not so simple. But according to this approach, it's all one and the same. And just like it doesn't work over there, one sheep doesn't affect the other. Same thing with the Haktorah of the Kaimitz affecting the Levina. Okay, so that's the mission. He did one of the sheep, the plant, to eat it itself tomorrow. That makes it pigul. Who pigul l'chaver kosher? He becomes pigul. The counterpart stays kosher. But if he did shechted this one, planning to eat the other one tomorrow, it's a non-starter. Shneim share. They're both kosher. My time. Why? For this reason. Since one sheep is not permitting the other one, each one is his own independent, driver. You can understand very well, right, why he can't affect him. Likewise, since the kaimitz is not the matter of levina, it can't affect him. No, hasam. Big difference. And this is what Rashi explained before. You can differentiate. There, the two sheep were not bound together in the same kli. So each one is his own independent, entity. Here by the kaimitz and levina, which came together in the same kli, perhaps they consider like one entity, and yes, the thought during the kaimitz can affect the levina. Okay, so an interesting discussion. Let's say during the Haktorah of the kaimitz, he's thinking, I'm going to burn the levina tomorrow. Some say it's a non-starter. Some say it makes for pigul, because kaimitz and levina are closely related. And therefore, it's considered like a full machshava of pigul on the entire matter. Amar Rav Hamnuna. Here comes an interesting twist. Says Rav Hamnuna, in the following case, certainly it's going to work. In the previous case, we had a machlokes. Listen to this case. Hamil, so the following lesson, the following halacha, Avlali, Rabbi Chanina taught it to me, explained it to me very well, and I absorbed it. Right, Avla, like absorbed. Utkidali, and this halacha is so precious to me. It's as valuable, kikuli talmudoi, like all my learning. It's a very interesting chiddush. What's the case? So first, he's sort of gonna present us with a formula, with a statement which is going to be a bit cryptic, and we're going to get to the bottom of it and finally appreciate it. Okay, so hikter kaimitz lahakter lavoina ulechal shraim lamachar. So while he's burning the kaimitz on the mizbeach, he's thinking, I'm going to bring the lavoina tomorrow, and I'm going to eat the shraim tomorrow. So he had two thoughts. Pigul. There you go, it's pigul. So again, he's thinking during the kmitza about the lavoina and about the shraim, that makes for pigul. Now what's his point? What's the main point here? My kamashmalan. If one of these thoughts really would be effective, kamashmalan, if his main point here is that the reason why it's pigul is because while he was thinking about doing the kaimitz, he was thinking about the levina, that makes for pigul as per the previous shita. He should have simply stuck with that. Why did he have to elaborate and expand it to a double thought of pigul? Lema, he should have simply said the first part, hikter kaimitz lahakter levina. Okay, that's his main point. On the other hand, perhaps it was totally something different that he was trying to teach us. That you could be mefagel the shiraim by thinking pigul even during one of the matirim. Even just by the kaimitz. About the shiraim, that also makes pigul. So again, he should have just mentioned the second point of his statement. He could have simply said, hikter kaimitz, while he was doing the kaimitz, he was thinking, lechel shiraim lamachar. This would bring out his point. If his point was to teach us both points, that the kaimitz could be fagel the levina, and also that the pigul thought that occurred only during the kmitza, which is a chatzi matter, can affect the shiraim. So then, again, why do you have to lump it together? You should have said, this makes pigul and that makes pigul, right? Separately. Lema could have simply said one or the other. Hikter kaimitz, while he's doing the kaimitz, he's thinking lach levayna lamachar. That makes for pigul. V'lech l'shraim lamachar. Vav sometimes means or, right? Or if you had a mind to eat the shraim, that's also a form of pigul. What's the point of bundling them together? Oh, here's the punchline. Yeah, only that's why. Amar Rav Ada bar Abba, let me explain it to you. He thought both. Because really, he held that Haktorah cannot be a Fagel Haktorah. So during the Kaimitz, and thinking about the Levina does not make for pigul. And likewise, while doing the kaimitz, he's thinking about the shirayim, that doesn't work either. Vishani hacha. However, in this case, it's very different. When he had both thoughts together. You know why? Because he spread around the pigul. It spilled over into the entire matter. So with respect to the shirayim, both drivers were affected, because while he was doing the kaimitz, he was thinking about the levina. And also about the shirayim. So he covered it all together. That's better. So again, if he's doing the kaimitz and just thinking about the levine, that's not pigul. But when he's thinking also about the shirayim and the levina, so on the one hand, his pigul has spread into the entire matter with respect to affecting the shirayim. Very deep concept. So now it's pigul. Continues the Gemara. Tani tano kamei d'Rabbi bar Nafcha. There was a chacham who presented a brisa before Rabbi bar Abba. Hiktir kaimitz lech l'shirayim. Okay, so he was makted the kaimitz, planning to eat the shirayim tomorrow. So he used the following words: L'divrei hakoil pigul. All agree, it's consensus that it's pigul. So Rabbi bar Abba responded, "V'mifal plig, what do you mean? This point is the very machlekes we had, because it's a chatzi mater. The pigul only attached itself to part of the mater while he was handling the kaimitz. That's chatzi mater. So it's a machlekes. What do you mean everybody agrees? You can say all agree that it's possible, because even the chacham agree that it's possible. So he modified it. He kept the all, right? The all agree, but he changed it from pigul to possible. Why do you have to change it like that? He could have changed the word pigul he could have kept it with pigul, and it's specific to Rameir Shita. He could have taken away the all agree, just make it Rameir and keep it with pigul. For Lemi, he could have said, switch it to Reza pigul Rameir. Instead of it's consensus, no, it's Rameir, and keep it with the word pigul. So the answer is like this: there was some sort of error, some sort of correction that had to be made. It's more likely that the error is in the word pigul and pasul. But to suggest that having said everybody didn't mean everybody, it meant just Rameir, it's unlikely that he would have forgotten and said it wrongly in that sense. Tana, so the chacham, divrei hakol asnayu, certainly he was taught divrei hakol. The halacha that he was learning and teaching was certainly a consensus halacha. It's unlikely that he would have, been inaccurate in that expression. It's a very distinct expression. Everybody agrees, right? It's just that the next word, pigul, bepasul michlafle, he mixed up the word pigul and pasul. So that's more likely than to say, to say that instead of it was consensus, it should have been harizeh, this is pigul according to Rameir. It's unlikely that would have gotten him confused, and this is the more plausible solution. Says the Hilge Mishnah, Hakam Misamincha again. This is a second parak that begins with the same words. So it's called Hakam Mitzrabah. It's a long Hakam Misamincha. A longer parak. Okay, so what happened here? Back to pigul. He's doing the kmitz on the mincha, having in mind to have something tomorrow, something which is unsuitable. For instance, to eat the kaimetz or to burn the shirayim. So he's talking about carbon material in an inappropriate venue, inappropriate manner of consumption. Is that going to be pigul? So we touched upon this the other day. Here's the main, focal point of this discussion. It's machlekes. He's planning on eating something which he shouldn't be eating, like the kaimetz and levina, which belong on his mizbeach. Or lahakta to burn something which is not meant to be burned, like the shirayim. So basically he's doing a crossover pigul. Just for clarity, let's call it a crossover pigul. Kosher. That's not a proper pigul. Or Blazer Paisel, he says it is possible. What about combining eating and burning? He plans on eating the shirayim. Or lahakta to burn something which is meant to be burned. Pachas b'kazayis, less than a kazayis. Again, it's kosher. What about combining eating and burning? Lechel kachatzizayis, lahakta chatzizayis, to eat and burn half a zayis each. In the wrong time, again, it's kosher. You can't combine two types of consumption to make pigul. You need to have the minimum share of kazayis directed at one form of consumption. You can't combine achila and Torah. Amar Asi, says the Gemara. Amar B'yech, my time with Rabbi Lezer, why is Rabbi Lezer consider it pigul when you cross over? Based on a pasuk, it's Menachos Torah. The pasuk says, look, regarding pigul, we switched the type of word. And the Gemara learned back in Zvachim, it relates to the machshava of pigul. He had a mind to eat it, a couple of days away. Two forms of consumption: personal consumption for edible materials and mizbeach consumption for mizbeach materials. Two avenues of making pigul. Personal and mizbeach consumption. Now, the pasuk here is pairing them together to tell you you can cross over. That's how Rabbi Lezer learns the pasuk. Lemlech to teach us. Just as you can have machshava of pigul regarding basar meant for humans, likewise regarding material which is meant for mizbeach, and you can cross over as well and make pigul. Just like you can generate pigul by thinking about something which is meant for Adam to Adam, something which is meant for mizbeach to the mizbeach. Likewise, if one has a machshava which crosses over the materials, it also makes pigul. Taking basar on the mizbeach, or vice versa, something from the mizbeach, plan on eating it yourself, that also makes pigul. My time, how do you know this? Because look, we said the pasuk relates to personal consumption. That surely is called achila. But haktara, mizbeach consumption, why is that also called achila? Why not just call it haktara? To teach us that they're pretty much one and the same. You can cross over. Rabbanan disagree. They hold that if you take basar and plan on putting on the mizbeach, even in a week's time, that's not pigul. So why did the Torah relate to burning using lashon achila? To tell you something else regarding the choice of words that he'll use. Even if he didn't actually say haktara tomorrow, he said achila to mizbeach tomorrow, it also makes pigul provided it's mizbeach material, of course. So it doesn't really matter how he said it. Whether he used lashon achila for the mizbeach, or use lashon haktara, which is more appropriate for mizbeach. Either way, it makes pigul. Inami, another option to understand the wording of the pasuk regarding this shiur, to tell us ma'achila, because it's just like regarding personal consumption, we all know that the minimum is called a kazayis. Af haktara b'kazayis, likewise for the thought of pigul regarding haktara, it also needs to be a minimum of kazayis. That's why it's called achila. But certainly, when we speak about achila, it means in an appropriate venue. Basar for people and mizbeach material for the mizbeach, and not a crossover. Rabbi Lezer, he responds, if it's only coming to tell you that, then the pasuk should have used the same word twice. Using the same, spelling, the same letters, whatever, right? So at least the same letters. Why switch everything? Why that change in semantics? Shamas Maratarti. From here we learned that crossovers generate pigul as well. So you're quoting Rabbi Yechanan regarding Rabbi Eliezer's source from a pasuk that crossover is pigul Menachos Torah? If in fact he's based on a pasuk, then it should be full-fledged pigul, even by a crossover. It should be cursed as well for eating it. So perhaps that's true. What Atu the Amos, you yourself quoted Mishmei, the name of Rabbi Yechanan. There's no kares. It's only midrabanan. There's no kares for eating it. Rabbi Asi responds, you know what? That's a big discussion. Tanoim, it's machlekes tanoim. I'll leave Rabbi Lezer regarding Rabbi Lezer's opinion. Some say it's really pigul menachos based on this pasuk. Some say it's close to pigul, it's only midrabanan. Igadam and Omar. Psul deraisa. Some say it's menachos, it's pigul because mandam psul derabanan. Some say it's only rabbanan. Asanya, as we find in the next brisa, this type of discussion. Okay, so we begin with a brisa. Shech das azevach lishtes midam lemachar. Laktem psar lemachar. He does a shchita thinking, saying that he's going to drink the blood tomorrow. Mizbeach material for human consumption, or to burn the basar tomorrow. Human material for mizbeach consumption. Lemachar. Lechel murav lemachar, to eat the fats tomorrow. So all these are crossovers. Kosher. According to the Rabbanan, it's a non-starter. It's not pickle. Rabbi Lezer paisel. Rabbi Lezer says it's pasul. Not pickle, but pasul. Next case in the brisa. This is very important for the next Gemara. Laniach medam l'machar, a unique type of plan this guy concocted. I'm going to shecht, planning to leave the blood over, some of the blood for tomorrow. I'm not going to drink it or put it on the mizbeach tomorrow. He's just lazing around. I'm going to take some of the blood and have it stay overnight. Guess what? Rabbi Yehuda Paisel, he says it's possible. Why? We'll see later. Amar Rabbi Elazar said there was an Amor Rabbi Elazar. He says, look, af bezu, it's not so simple. This case as well of laniach damay lemachar, it's a machlekes really. Af bezu, Rabbi Eliezer, the same Rabbi Eliezer that we're talking about till now, he says it's paisel, v'chacham machshir. Okay, so again, regarding laniach damay lemachar, Rabbi says paisel. Second approach is that it's a machlekes. Rabbi Yehuda Liba. Now, let's just backtrack for a second. We discussed 2 points in the brisa: crossovers regarding pigul and leaving blood overnight. So Rabbi Yehuda says laniach damay lemachar is pasul. Now, regarding the crossover question, whose opinion did he adopt over there? It's important to know. Rabbi Yehuda Liba he's going like the Rabbanon. That crossovers are fine. So then, why is laniach midamay lemachar pasul? Hashta, look. Look, in the case of crossovers, where he's planning on eating, Machshir Rabbanan say it's okay because it was a crossover. Certainly when he's just planning on allowing the blood to stay overnight, I mean, that's not even close to pigul. Why would he pasul? El aliba de Rabbi Eliezer. Apparently he's going to Rabbi Eliezer regarding crossovers, who says that it's that's a problem. Comes Rabbi Yehuda and adds, he says, if you plan on leaving the blood overnight, it's also possible. It's also possible to Rabbi Eliezer. That's Rabbi Yehuda's take. The Amar Rabbi Elazar comes Rabbi Elazar in this brisa, not Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Elazar in this brisa, with his approach to the machlekes. He says, no, actually, regarding leaving blood overnight, it's a machlekes, Rabbi Eliezer and the Rabbanan, which actually is exactly what Rabbi Yehuda just said a minute ago. That's the obvious question coming up in a second. But let's just see the words. V'amar Rabbi Eliezer comes and explains, so even in this case of leaving blood overnight, we have the same machlekes. Rabbi Eliezer paisel, chamachshir. Now, it's hard to learn the brisa this way because he's just repeating Rabbi Yehuda's opinion. That it's a machlekes, right? Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yehuda, they're both saying the same thing. That the same machlekes we apply by crossover pigul, we apply by machshavav hanachas dam lemachar elalav. So you have to say there's some sort of point here of machlekes. There must be some sort of difference of opinion between Rabbi Yehuda's version of Rabbi Eliezer Shita and Rabbi Elazar's version of Rabbi Eliezer Shita. The question is, how far does Rabbi Eliezer take his crossover pigul? Is it just pasul the Rabban or even kares? As follows. The Rabbi Yehuda Savar. So Rabbi Yehuda says, look, laniach psula ba'alma. It's true when it's just a question of laniach midamai. That's not kares, that's not pigul, it's just pasul. Bahanach, but in a crossover pigel, kares nami mechayiv, according to Rabbi Eliezer, there's kares. Okay, so that's Rabbi's take on things. He holds that it's kares. Perhaps that's his own shita as well. V'asar b'lazal meimar. Right, so it's Rabbi Elazar's personal opinion, like Rabbi Eliezer, that it's kares. V'asar b'lazal meimar. Comes Rabbi Elazar, not Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Elazar in the Bryce. He says, no. Even the crossover pigel according to Rabbi Eliezer is not really kares. Idi v'idi, paslei kares. Whether it's a crossover pigel, whether it's thinking to leave the blood overnight, it's only midrabanan. It's close to pigel. It's only pasal. So here we found the two approaches to Rabbi Eliezer's shita. Rabbi Eliezer in the Mishnah says crossover pigel is pigel. The question is how far we go. Is it midaraisa or is it just midrabanan? Here we go. No, says the Gemara. Perhaps all agree. In a crossover pigel, there's no kares. Regarding analyzing the shittas and the brisa, as follows: there are three opinions here regarding the second part of the brisa, machshava v'hinuach dam. That's the machlekes, strictly in that case. Tanakama. So we have the Tanakama who quoted something about a crossover pigel being a machlekes, and we have Rabbi Yehuda in the brisa talking about allowing the blood to stay overnight. We have Rabbi Elazar in the brisa. It goes like this: Tanakama, the first opinion in the brisa. So Rabbi Hanach Pligi says in the case of a crossover pigel, over there we have a machlekes, right? So Rabbi Elazar says it's possible midrabanan, and the Chacham say it's kosher. Laniach, but simply planning to allow the blood to stay overnight, they are called kosher. That's not even close to pigel. That's totally kosher. Rabbi Yehuda Hanach Pligi says Rabbi Yehuda, no, actually. In a case of crossover pigel, it's a machlekes, right? But lahaniach, they are called pasal. I hold lahaniach is worse. All agree it's pasal. The question is why? My time, you know why? Gzeira mixas damai atu kol damai. Now he's only planning on allowing, planning on allowing some of the blood to stay overnight. But next time he might plan to leave the entire blood overnight. Atu kol damai. And in that case, it's possible. If you should think of allowing the whole blood to stay overnight, it's possible. Menachos, the Sanis we find in the Bryce, but Rabbi explains his position. I'm going to read it turns to the Chachamim. Wouldn't you agree if you actually let the blood stay overnight, the entire blood overnight? Of course, the carbon is possible. Right? Just like if you physically actually left it overnight, it's possible because there's no blood to process. Likewise, if you plan on doing so, it's also possible. Basically, he processed the carbon with this in mind. He invalidated the carbon. He was building a failed carbon. Okay, so this is the middle shita. Rabbi says, all agree it's possible. Comes a third shita in the brisa. Because Rabbi Elazar finally says, guess what? It's also subject to the same machlekes of crossover pigel. Rabbi Eliezer is paisel, midrabanan, Chachamim machshir. Okay, so bottom line is, regarding crossover pigel, which means to say he did, let's say, an avodah planning on feeding the mizbeach something which is meant for humans, or vice versa. Chacham say it's kosher because each material belongs in his own venue only, can't cross over. Rabbi Elazar says it's pigel. Some say Menachos, some say only midrabanan. We have another machlekes regarding machshava sinuach dam. Again, three shittas. Rabbi says totally pasal. Some say it's a machlekes, and some say it's totally kosher. Okay, all the best to you and hatzlacha rabba.